Hi everyone and welcome back to Sonya's Prep. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sonya and I take you along on my YouTube channel and show you all about my Orthodox Jewish life. I take you along on my Shabbos meal preps and my holiday meal preps, and this video is going to be the final video in the Rosh Hashanah series for 2021. I have a lot of yummy things on the menu like roast duck and brisket and roasted potatoes and caramelized carrots, and I hope you guys all enjoy them. I have already uploaded a few videos on my dessert menu and my salad menu for Rosh Hashanah, so don't forget to check them out. I'll also have them linked down below for you. And if you enjoy these types of videos, please let me know by clicking that subscribe button below and giving me a big thumbs up so I know that you like these kinds of videos so that I can make more of them. With all that said, now let's get into the recipes. So I like to start my preps by washing and cleaning all of my poultry and getting my sides washed and prepared in my tin pans as well. And after everything is washed and prepared, I start seasoning every single one, and that's how I go. I just find that it saves me so much more time this way. I don't have to stop and go, take the meat, wash it, season it, wash my hands. I just feel like I just do it all in one shot and all I have to do is season it. So I'm gonna just take you along and show you each one, what I do to it, how I cook it, and let's start. First up is herbed basmati rice. It is super simple to make. I have 2 cups of rinsed and drained rice in the tin pan. I added in 2.5 cups of water, about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, some salt and herbs of choice. I had some cilantro that's dried and this dill as well that I enjoy with my rice, but you can totally leave this out and leave the basmati rice plain, and it is super delicious that way as well. After mixing everything thoroughly, I make sure to incorporate all the seasoning and all the herbs throughout. I cover the tin pan with some foil and bake it in a 400-degree oven for 40 minutes until it's done and perfect. I just use a fork to fluff it all up, and it's amazing. While shopping in Trader Joe's, I saw these fingerling potatoes and I could not pass it up, so I bought them and decided to make them as a side dish as well. I rinsed them really well, dried them, and I'm going to be cutting each one in half, placing it into the tray and seasoning it with some oil, salt and pepper, paprika. You could really season this with any kind of flavors that you like. I just chose, like I said, some salt, paprika, garlic powder, pepper, some chicken consommé seasoning because it just adds a depth of flavor in all of your meals, and using my very, very handy dandy utensil, my hands, I'm going to be mixing everything really well. The cut side, I place it down because I like to get it nice and crispy, because that's of course the best part. I placed the potatoes in a 400-degree oven just as I did with the rice. They cook at the exact same time until they're fully cooked through, I would say about 20 to 30 minutes. If it's taking too long for you, you can definitely up the temperature of the potatoes until they're nice and crispy. Finish them off with some chopped up cilantro and crushed garlic. Next up are these gorgeous tricolored carrots that I found in Trader Joe's as well. I simply just washed them, peeled them, and cut them in either in half or in fourths depending on how thick they are. To season the carrots, I use some salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and the citrus garlic seasoning that I found in Trader Joe's as well. It is really, really delicious. I add in some oil and mix everything up with my hands. If you want this to be nice and sweet and caramelized, definitely add in some brown sugar over the top and massage that in as well. I realized very quickly that my tray for the carrots was too small, so I switched them over to this larger tray. You don't want your carrots to steam, you really want them to roast, otherwise they'll just be boiled looking. So I placed them into the exact same oven set at 400 degrees as well to roast. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes. I do flip them around a little bit. The way that I enjoy these carrots is by placing in some homemade pesto sauce over the top. The colors is just gorgeous with the tricolored carrots and the green pesto sauce. It is truly, truly delicious. I'll have the recipe for the pesto sauce that I used down below in the description box. Next up, I'll be making my honey glazed salmon. I simply just take salmon, wash it really well, add in some oil, drizzle honey all over the top of it. I then add in a squeeze of lemon juice. I season everything with some salt, garlic powder, black pepper, paprika. Here I accidentally took hot paprika out. I didn't look at the container carefully, but use regular paprika. And again, I use this citrus blend that I found in Trader Joe's. I also have this really delicious fish seasoning that I found in my local supermarket. I love to add that in as well. I mix everything up with my hands again. Get all of the seasonings incorporated all throughout the fish. To bake the fish, I set the oven on broil for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's fully cooked through. Next up, I'll be making this pomegranate chicken. Here I have some drumsticks, but feel free to use any part of the chicken that you prefer. I use pomegranate molasses or pomegranate dressing or pomegranate sauce, whatever you can find in your store. And I put a very generous amount of it onto the chicken. I would say I used about a quarter of a cup to half a cup of it, maybe less. It really depends on the amount of chicken that you'll be using. I then drizzled on some balsamic vinegar. I would say about 2 tablespoons worth, and then about a quarter cup of honey went all over the chicken as well. And I seasoned everything with some garlic powder, salt, black pepper, and chicken consommé seasoning. I then added in some paprika for color because I wanted to look nice and red. I then sprinkled on some cilantro and added in a few cloves of crushed garlic. I would say I used a total of 4 to 5 cloves of crushed garlic in this recipe. To finish everything off, I added in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil over the top and gave everything a very good mix. To make it even more festive, right before baking them, I added in a few cut up figs over the top. I baked them in a 400-degree oven uncovered for about 45 minutes, and then I took it out and basted the chicken legs with the juices. And I kept doing that every 15 to 20 minutes until they got a delicious and golden color over the top. Now on to the meat. Here I have some brisket that I'll be roasting. I have first and second cut combined here, but I have done this recipe with just the second cut as well, and it comes out completely delicious. This brisket is going to be more on the savory side, but there is a video that I've made where I made this brisket with barbecue sauce, which is also perfect for Rosh Hashanah if you want it to be sweet. This time I decided just to keep it savory, so I added in all of my favorite seasonings that I enjoy having my brisket with, like salt, black pepper, cumin, coriander, garlic powder, and I finished everything off with a little drizzle of oil, and I made sure to put the seasonings on both sides of the brisket so that the seasoning is really well incorporated all throughout the meat. Before baking, I add in a 1/4 cup of water into the tray just to keep it nice and moist. I fold over the parchment papers enveloping the meat just so it could steam up really well and become nice and tender. I cover everything up with some foil and place it into a 400-degree oven for about 3 to 4 hours until everything is super soft. I'm going to show a clip of the video that I did previously with the brisket and the barbecue sauce, which is gorgeous as well. Don't forget to check it out. I'll have a card up and I'll have it linked down below. For the final recipe, I'll be sharing with you how I make my roast duck. I washed it really well, pat it dry, and added in some salt, black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, chicken consommé seasoning. I topped it all off with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce and a drizzle of red dry wine. I have Hennessy here, so I just poured a little bit of that over the top. It just gives the duck a nice beautiful exterior, nice beautiful color. About a tablespoon goes over the top as well. You don't need that much because the duck is very fatty. I stuff everything into the duck that you see right here. I have some celery, oranges, and apples. The oranges I do prefer to peel off the rind because if I don't, I find that the rind gives off a bitterness. After stuffing everything inside, I bake it covered for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then I uncover it, baste it with some of the juices, and bake it again uncovered for another hour and a half until it looks this gorgeous. Look at how crispy and delicious this looks. Well, that's it for my dinner special for Rosh Hashanah. I hope you guys truly enjoyed them. Don't forget to check out the desserts and the salads that I've made previously on this channel for Rosh Hashanah. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you make any of these recipes. I would love to see your spin on them, and subscribe if you are new. Let me know down below what your menu is going to look like, and if you're hosting this year or just keeping it small and simple. Happy Rosh Hashanah from my family to yours.